Hi, everyone, and welcome to Chair Yoga. Today, I want to get started with some reflections I made throughout the week. My last week when I was in Florida, I am a big journaler. I jot down my thoughts on a regular basis. It's been part of my practice of, knowing myself better, I guess, and having some way to reflect on that. I don't know, 30 years, I think, is a fair bet that I've done it. So, yeah, I've got a lot of journals hanging around here. But anyway, let me start with that as a way to kind of help us in our transitional time. So I want you to just find a good, comfortable sit, so you feel like you're, bringing yourself into a place of good posture. You can feel the difference as you align yourself in your chair, that you can feel the difference in your body, that you're aware of your pelvis and how you're balancing within that space and getting your feet to the floor in a way that feels very intentional and grounded. And don't forget to engage your core, so you start to feel the strength of that right from the beginning, that you feel the strength of right alignment from the inside out. And hold yourself up in a proper way, that it just helps you to feel the transition, the change of perception, if you will, into one of more mindfulness, and especially as it pertains to the body, mindful of how your body is feeling right now. Close your eyes so you can have that shift of perception that way, and maybe turn your palms up in that mudra of receptivity. Maybe you need a couple cleansing breaths to kind of recharge yourself and feel that connection to the breath in a more powerful way. Let's use a small meditation as we begin. So as you take your inhale, draw in love. You're drawing in and inhaling love. And as you exhale, let go of, release fear. Let's do that again. Inhale love. Exhale fear. Now let's inhale acceptance. Exhale judgment. And repeat that. Inhale acceptance. Exhale release judgment. And moving on, let's inhale forgiveness. Exhale resentment. Let's repeat it. Inhale forgiveness. Exhale resentment. Now inhale joy. Exhale lethargy. Repeat that too. Inhale joy. Release and release again, lethargy. Finally, let's inhale freedom. Exhale expectation or habit. Inhale freedom. Exhale habit. So sometimes just connecting words to the breath help you become more and more related to the breath. You feel the participation of the breath, returning, that you're participating in that experience. And so as you begin with eyes closed, I'll just share with you some ideas that kept coming up, which were essentially about being open versus being closed. It lends itself pretty easily to the embodiment of practice of yoga. Today, I listened to a Sounds True podcast with an author by the name of Nate Kemp. His book is entitled Open. This was his comment in the opening credits of the book. Expanding the size of the mind may sound subtle, yet the results can utterly transform our lives. He goes on to say, when we open to life, we're no longer stuck in here fighting against our thoughts on the inside or a crazed world on the outside. We're connected. Our minds and lives get bigger. There's more room, more perspective, more possibility. This is what it means to be free. This is a good time to set your intention for class today. So as you ponder maybe those reflections of mine mixed with your own, see if you can come up with your intention for class. Two more full breaths in and full breaths out. Let's flutter the eyes open. Get used to the light. Inhale with me as palms come together overhead. Exhale, bow to your heart. Inhale up and exhale all the way around. Arms are alongside the frame of the chair. I've got my block between my thighs, but I want you to use the block however you find it to be useful as a way of drawing you to that midline energy center, that core strength that we talk about. Just drawing yourself in to that channel of energy that runs alongside the spine. Let's pull those hands back and find that arched back of the cow pose, the extended spine. Keep your head kind of neutral. Don't lift your chin just yet. Let's keep the neck and head pretty neutral and keep your arms close to the frame of the chair, but really try to experience that arch of the back and how you feel your shoulder blades drawing toward the middle. Breathe in, breathe out. Move your head any gentle way that you might need to if it gets tight or if you feel the tension in your neck. Arching the back, just feeling that expansion. Soften the mouth. We don't need tension there. Relax your tongue. When it's time to exhale, now let's move into the cat pose. So rounding through your back body, let your chin drop towards your chest bone. Hands can either float out in front of you or just lay on your lap, but you want to keep your shoulders aligned with your hips. Don't pull yourself forward. Shoulders should be right on top of your hips, right into this pose. Pull the belly button way in so you can feel that curve of the back being even more intensified because you're sucking in your belly and letting that midsection of your back round a little bit more. Let's do this as our vinyasa. So as we come up, that's our inhale time and we're back in cow. And when it's time to exhale, you round the back. So finding your own rhythm of movement, but let's get going. So we can let feel the energy of the body return and feel this connection of breath and movement, which is kind of the definition, sometimes it feels like the very definition of this yoga practice, breath and movement. See if you can hear your breath. Notice if your breath is loud enough that you can notice it as a sound. So you're even more aware. I like to do that because it just gives me more ways to acknowledge that connection to the breath. Let's continue this now. Meet me in the cow pose where you're upright and just extend those arms out into sort of a T. I've got palms facing forward. Let's move it into the open and close. So as you draw your wide open arms back, there's our inhale. Exhale, round the back and let your palms come together and you find your version of cat and cow now as this open and close movement. Same thing's happening in your spine, but what we were just doing, but it's just like there's more space around it. We're opening the whole body. Let the armpit chest feel the opening of that. Open and close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Let's meet with the closed position so our palms are lightly together. Reach out forward, forward, forward. Keep your pelvis right in that chair, but arms and shoulders, upper body is pulling forward, forward. Now palms together. Just see if you can lift your head to look at your hands. Lift your head to look at your hands. And then allow yourself to come up, 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 and keep looking at your hands. Now we've got the cervical spine involved in this opening. Now, if your neck is giving you lots of trouble, this is not comfortable for you, then make your subtle adjustment. Maybe your hands need to come a little, come down a bit so you don't have to lift your head so much. Modify that as you might need to. Let's find the full breath in and the full breath out right here. Keep your feet planted, and it's like you're trying to feel the imprint of your feet to the floor. One more full breath. On your next inhale, just come into that goddess position, bent elbows, and we're going to do a little open and close here. So just find your breath moving in and out, keeping our arms bent in that goddess posture. Full breath in, full breath out. Keep your elbows elevated. They're supposed to be right at the height of your armpits. If you can do it that way. Again, we're going to meet in the closed position. So palms together, elbows together, forearms together. And then I just want you to lift up. Now remember, the little movements that you see me do is nothing to do with what you have to do. I want to just move. So in case you need to glance at the screen and make sure you're understanding what I'm telling you, then you got a better view of that. So don't squirm yourself around the chair. There's no need for that. And just pay attention to where the efforting is. What part of your body, where's the musculature that's really working to help you do this? Maybe your breath has to get a little noisier, a little stronger. We're going to add some crunching. So inhale those elbows up. But on the exhale, we're going to drop our elbows to touch the block or touch our knees, whatever you've got access to. Try to really change the tone of the belly. So when you're folding down to touch your elbows to the block, you're squeezing your belly in. And when you lift up, you kind of soften and release. Coming down, squeezing the belly in. Remember, softness about the mouth and the face. We don't need tension there ever. A couple more now. We're warming up the belly. Last time. Inhale up. Open it back up into that goddess position and drop your hands down. Keep your elbows up and make those adjustments. I always have to kind of fix it. It's like my shoulders, my neck, think, what now? What? So you have to kind of make some adjustments so you can hold yourself. I know it's awkward, but it's just access to more musculature. So we're not leaving anything out. Let's just go from up to down, just bringing those fingertips up and down, moving through the various muscles in the arms. Press your feet to the floor so the lower body seems very engaged and supportive. That you've got a good base here. Last time, lift up, and then let's move it into that open palms and in our T shape. So we've got our palms facing up. Spread your hands apart, fingers apart, thumbs pointing back. Take a look from one arm to the other, one hand to the other. Moving your neck and head and just paying attention to the sensation of that. And any adjustments you need to make in your body, maybe you're leaning forward. You've brought yourself, your shoulders have come forward and they're no longer stacked above your hips. Okay, this is a good time you could become aware of that. Make that adjustment. We want the shoulders stacked right above the pelvis. Find that deeper breath. And in the movement that you're doing is as simple as it is about getting to know the range of movement in your neck, and that you're helping that. You're helping to maybe increase the range, to soften some of the tightness. Beautiful. Palms will come together up and overhead. Look up if that's agreeable to your neck. Exhale as you bow to your own heart. Let's do it again. Inhale up and exhale, bow to your own heart. Listen to that. Again, inhaling up, exhaling, bowing to your own heart, and we're going to hold it right there. See if you can locate yourself in the heart now. Get yourself out of your head, thinking, figuring this out, deciding, and just center yourself in your heart. Now breathe as though your heart does the breathing for you instead of your lungs. You're going to see about breathing in the way the heart does. You have to use your intention and your imagination. It's absolutely accessible to breathe from the heart. In the Sanskrit language, Om Shanti is a way of saying, bring on peace. O universe, O Holy One, bring us peace. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om. Can you repeat that? Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om. Beautiful. Lift up. And this time, just take a sweeping action all the way around. So you feel that movement in your shoulder blades. Let's do a couple of those. So it's like a backstroke in the pool. I love that image. All the way around. Inhaling up. Exhale all the way around. Good. Let's take that block and put it under the chair for now and grab hold of your leg. So let's get a hold now and move the foot around. So I've got a hold of the underside of my thigh. I'm lifting it up with the power of my arms, but also the power of my leg. And moving through the ankle joint. Include your toes, include the joints of the feet. And then we'll stop the movement of the foot, just let it kind of rest. And instead, use your leg to just make circles. And when you do, make circles with your lower leg, this helps your knees. So this is going to be a nice way to gently come into the knee joint to give it some more synovial fluid, to increase its ability to find this range of movement, which is more lateral. Let's change the direction of the circle. Lower leg is just spinning around, and right there you can feel how your knee is being, is finding the benefit of that. And then let's come to stillness. Let's move into the hip now. I want you to take hold of your leg in some way so you can move away from center. So you can bring your leg away from center. This is neutral. The leg bone is into the socket of the hip, just in its neutral position. And then we externally rotate it. So we're bringing it away from center for a rotation there in that hip joint. Now flex the foot. So your muscle, you can feel right away that the muscles of your legs feel a lot stronger. What to do with the other hand? You might hold on to your chair. You might press into the thigh on the standing leg. So whatever gives you the support you're looking for. Now let's leave it up in the air, centered and up in the air. Both hands are going to hold onto the chair. Let's move that without the aid of our arm and hands. So just see if you can let the leg do the work, going from its neutral position to an external rotation. Next time you bring it in toward that neutral position, cross it right on over, cross on top, and then practice that again. So you're going to bring it over there and cross it. So just sort of play with that, rotating it. And so you're literally internally rotating. You go from an external rotation, internal rotation. Find your breath now. Get back to the awareness of the breath coming in and all the way out. Last time, we're going to cross over and hold now. And I want you to make sure you're centered. Get back into the awareness of your pelvis so you feel balanced right to left. And let's just do a gentle twist. Inhale up and exhale down. We're going to do that a couple times. Inhaling up and exhaling down. This time we're going to twist. So inhaling up Turn away from your feet. So your arms are going in the direction of the top leg or away from the feet, and you're just turning yourself. That's it. Hold on to the chair or your body parts in any way that you know helps you to develop a bigger sense of an experience of this twisting action. The twisting action always starts low and works its way up. So the twist starts, almost at the hips and right into the waist. You're into the rib cage area of your trunk of your body, your shoulders, neck, head. Deepen the breath now. So your breath can find its way through the twists and turns of the body. Soften your mouth. Lift up your head. Just feel those subtle adjustments. Your body cues you. We're going to unwind the head and then the shoulders, and just keep your legs crossed as we just do some shoulder rolls. Move your head and neck in any way that seems appropriate. Change the direction of your shoulder roll when that seems appropriate. So it's kind of a reset of the body, and we're using shoulder rolls to do it. Let's stay with this leg as we move into that figure 4 position. So go from cross leg to lifting it so your ankle is on the thigh of that standing leg. So again, you can hold on to the chair to help, give you some stability for that movement. You can bring your hands to your waist or your hips so you could, sort of fire up the core strength that's involved a little bit more. We're going to land in that figure 4. I want you to draw your ankle and heel up toward the crease of the leg a little, and we're going to start massaging that leg. So bringing some comfort in, or, addressing the resistance that we might be experiencing. And so we bring our loving awareness and our touch into that. Just automatic, right? Just automatically come in here and take good care. Notice how, I again, what's automatic for me is the use of my forearm and my elbow, just to kind of bring myself into a deeper experience of this. Laying into that just seems natural. So notice those kind of cues you're getting for yourself. Might be different from what I do, but you've got them. I'm betting you've got some cues that come up and some ways that you do this. And I just want you to acknowledge that. Let's catch up with our breath now. Big breath in. Exhale that out of your mouth. And then let your arms drape past your shin and see if you can bring your chest bone forward. Remember, it's the chest bone that leads the way here. It's not your face, because I want you to try to keep your head, neck, and spine in alignment. Don't pull your head away from that alignment. Keep your head and neck aligned with the spine. So make the chest bone be sort of the way you can direct this. If the chest bone starts pulling you forward a little bit. And sure enough, there's more sensation. There's more sensation in the hip. Don't be afraid of that sensation. That's where healing happens. That's where healing happens, is right there where you're feeling that. Can you breathe into it? And let the exhale complete itself right into the intensity of it. That's good yoga. That really is. You have the ability to breathe into the experience. Let's try a little twist here. So your elbow can come right into the ankle, just kind of right about where the ankle is. And then just lay your hand down so the hand is onto the inner part of your knee. And so you've dropped your shoulder a bit. Now take that other arm and wrap it around your back. And that's a nice twist. I'm pressing my hand kind of into the sacrum, but you could be holding onto the chair back there if you have a space in your chair where you could get hold. So however you want to, but you're dipping your shoulder down towards your ankle and your elbow there. And you're pulling the other shoulder back and letting your ear face your elbow. And so you got that neutrality of the way you're holding your head, neck, and spine. Let's deepen the breath here. Good. And let's start to unwind. Let's get that back hand back to the front and unwind into from your twist. And let's no hands now as we bring that foot to the floor. Back to the figure 4 and to the floor. And one more time. And both feet to the floor. Now, any reset your body might need. Scoop up that other leg when you're ready. And let's start moving the foot. Make sure your standing leg is well positioned. Don't let your leg slide away, kind of keep it in line with the chair. It's within the framework of the chair. Feel the pressure, gentle pressure of your foot to the floor so you know you've got some stability for that from that standing leg. Pay attention now to the experience of the ankle working itself out. You're knowing that you're mindfully bringing some lubrication into that joint, those joints. So I've got my hands interlaced right underneath the knee and right underneath the thigh there. We'll stop the movement of the foot so we can come into the knee joint. So now the leg is making a circular movement. So we're into the knee joint. Keep yourself held upright. So try not to lean into the back of the chair. Try to keep yourself upright. Pull the belly in for some more strength. Lifting, lengthening the spine even as you do this. Let's change the direction of the circle. Draw that circle the other way. Good, and then let's move into the hip. So I want you to get a hold of your leg and move it away from center any way you want. Let's turn on the foot, so flex your foot so you can feel that engagement of the leg muscles. Using the chair in any way you want to. If you're going to hold on to the chair for better stability, good, that's great. Find your breath. We're going to give up our hands here. We're going to do this now without the use of our arms and hands. Just move that leg in and out without the use of the help of your legs, unless that's the modification that you've chosen, that you're going to continue to use your arms and hands because that's better for you. Let's slip it over the leg. So now we're going to draw from external rotation, cross it over, and it's an internal rotation. Deepen that breath. Now stay with a strong breath. Last time, we're going to meet with the leg crossed over. Kind of center yourself. Get your pelvis balanced. Inhale up. Exhale down. Let's do straight arms. Inhaling up, straight arms. A little bend in the elbow as we can. Let's do one more of these. Inhale up. Exhale, it's our twist. So we're just going to bring those arms away from the foot, turning the other way from the way you twisted earlier. Just turn the other way and set yourself up. Remember, we want a long vertical spine. So if you feel yourself leaning, you're going to try to fix that. Balancing in your pelvis right to left will be a good way to make that adjustment. Feels different for me on this side. This twist is different. So just notice if that's true for you, that there's a little different, like I got a cranky shoulder blade here that says, man, I haven't moved much lately. So I'm feeling that. I'm going to deepen the breath and try to soften where I feel that resistance. I'm not going to bully it. I'm going to soften. Remember, you need your full breath. You need that exhale to go all the way out. We're going to unwind the head and then the shoulders. And then we're going to move into the figure 4. So I want you to just practice bringing your ankle towards your thigh so you can just open up into that figure 4. The standing leg should just stay put. So you've just got the stable base. And then we'll bring it in, bring it on up. Bring your ankle and your heel toward that crease and start your massaging. I'm feeling how my pelvis is not so balanced right now. So that's the first adjustment I want to make. And it's not perfect. it's still a little not balanced, because there's a lot of tightness that I'm experiencing. So I'm just, well, I gave it my best effort. I made some adjustment. That's where I am today. And then let's let the arms just drape right past your shin. And we're leading with your chest bone as you fold forward and feel the more intensity, likely more intensity in your hip, into the buttocks. And smooth out your breath. Make sure the standing leg, it's got, you're making just a subtle awareness that you press that foot into the floor so you feel the strength of that part of your body so that you can deepen into this fold. You just created a nice strong base, well aligned. And then we're in our deep fold. Let's add the twist. So elbow sort of rests in toward the ankle, hand just lays onto the inner knee. So you're just lining up your lower arm with your lower leg. And then the shoulder sort of drops a little bit toward that elbow. And let's get the other shoulder to roll back. We didn't do this on the first one, but wow, this is my cranky shoulder blade. So I'm aware of it. I'm going to start rotating that shoulder back. So I got a little better access. Now turning my head so that ear is facing the shoulder. Excuse me, my ear is facing the elbow that's resting into the ankle. And now I'm going to kind of hold that twist. I'm going to get my hand wrapped around my back, pressing my hand somewhat into my low back, into the sacrum area. Deepen the breath, soften your mouth. And notice what you notice. Where in your body are you feeling this particularly, experienced? Like where is it? Your neck? Is it your shoulder? Where in your body are you right now? Let's exhale completely. And then we're going to unwind the head and the shoulders and come back out. Now, no hands as we bring that foot to the floor. So coming from your figure four back to this neutral position, and let's do it another time. Beautiful. Let's take the knees open a little wider now. Heels are in, toes are out. I'm going to turn. You don't need to. We're going to come forward and back. I want you to bring yourself forward, all the way forward, as low to the thighs, as toward the thighs as you can. Just rocking a little bit forward and back. And then we're going to work on the perineum. So I want you to choose the angle. How far are you going to dip down into that space between your thighs? I want you to find what works best for you. Where's your angle? Press your hands into your thighs. I want elbows squeezed in toward the waistline. Notice head, neck, and spine alignment. So don't let your head drape on down. Got to lift it so the head is in line with the spine. And now we press our feet to the floor. And when we inhale, we're lifting the perineum right up off that chair. At least it feels like we are. Inhale and hold it. Exhale, soften and relax. Inhale is very strong while you lift up. Try to retain that lift. And then exhale and soften. So it's got a little bit of breath retention here. That's not a problem. You can just give yourself the permission. Just lift and hold. Retain the breath as you hold and tone, and soften when you need to. So nobody's got a timer on you. You can just figure it out within your body. Give yourself the challenge you can do. Head, neck, and spine in alignment. Let's work that toning of the perineum. Press the feet. Now I'm going to stay with it a little bit longer. I want you to notice your inner thighs. Can you notice your inner thighs? Try to draw those inner thighs right up into the floor of the pelvis. Relax your mouth. It gets tempting. We kind of get focused on retention and, holding, and we can start to grit the teeth and that kind of stuff. So soften your mouth. And release and hold. We're in our angle now. Let's spread our arms like wings would be. Press your feet like crazy so you feel the strength of your legs. You can feel like you're almost floating yourself off the chair, and lift up. Let your arms help carry you all the way up. And we're just going to let our arms come up alongside our head. Hands are open wide, palms facing forward. And let's just move through the shoulders a little bit. I like inhaling up and exhaling down. Now, your rhythm might be different, but that's just how I'm feeling that, and how I guess I commonly feel that. Inhale is up, exhale is down. Inhale up, and this time I want you to interlace your hands behind your head so your elbows are open wide, and then we're going to drop all the way down to get our elbow to touch our knee. The same elbow, same side. Pay attention to how your head is moving. That's the beauty of having those interlaced hands behind your head like this. It's very supportive for your neck. So I'm reminding you that you've got a lot of support in case you're nervous about this, that your neck is going to be unhappy. See if you can really rely on the support your hands are providing. So your neck has ease of movement, plenty of support. So you can do some really good work for your abdominal wall, the side walls. Now, instead of elbows coming to meet the knee all the way down, let's see if we can get the knee to come up and meet the elbow. So now we're going to change it up a little bit. We're going to lift our leg so the knee is coming up to meet the elbow. Find your breath. Let's use this same practice with the knee jump, coming up, to add the twisting action. So now we're going to bring that knee up and we're going to match our elbow to the opposite knee. Stronger breath. Listen for your breath. One more tap on each knee. And when you come back out of that, let's use a backstroke to come out of it. Release your hands from behind your head. Sweeping action all the way down. Let's do another one of those. Inhale up. Exhale all the way down. Let's bring our legs a little closer together and rock yourself back so you can bring yourself up out of the chair. So rock back, feet come up out of the chair. A couple of these. When you come up, let's bring our legs together and bring your knees together. I mean, everything is really joined together like a mermaid. Like I've got my hands real close to my knees so I can start to circle. It's like I'm supporting my knees with my open hands, holding on tight right there. And we're circling through. Now, this is such a great movement because it's benefiting your ankles, your toes, your feet, your knees. It even is into the hips. Couldn't be a better movement. Focus, though, it requires some balance. So focus now. Pay attention to what's going on. Circling around. Let's stay with the same direction. And then change that direction. Take your time and change the circle. You don't need to watch me. Pay attention to what you're doing. Find a focal point on the floor, perhaps. Connect with the fullness of your breath in, all the way out. Draw it all the way in. Let it go all the way out. Can you keep your legs together? Slide your hands down your legs, knees probably bent a little, but see if you can just fold, 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 releasing the heaviness of your head. Keep your eyes wide open. Breathe in, breathe out. Jump your hands to your shins. You're below your knees. Now try to straighten your legs, straighten your arms, then lift your body up so that you're creating sort of a tabletop back body, and your body is in that L shape. Legs are together. Hands are not pressing into the kneecaps. They're pressing toward the shins right below your knees. Try to lift to flatten the back. Breathe in, breathe out. Right hand is going to release itself from the leg and just extend out right alongside our ear, thumb pointing toward the ceiling. Bring your body weight into the whole surface of your feet. Let's switch arms. Take your time. Don't look at the screen. Your best guess is fine. Extend your other arm past your ear, thumbs pointing toward the ceiling. Deepen the breath. Tuck your chin in towards your throat a little bit. Lengthen the spine right here, right now. Great. Release your hands to the floor. Fold down. You can softly bend the knees. Your knees can be bent a lot. We're going to jump above the knees onto the thighs. Come up halfway. Bend the knees. Bend the knees a lot. Lift your head up. Find your breath in and out. Right arm lifting up. Palms facing center. Thumb pointing back. Same thing we did when we were just doing this a minute ago. Only we're upright. Let's switch our arms. We're still in this squat. Change the arms. Now both hands lift you all the way to standing. Let's get a little distance between our feet and just catch up with your breath with your arms up in the air. So let your shoulder blades slide down the back. Take your left hand and grab hold of your right wrist and bend to the side. Arm is just coming right past your ear. Probably a little softness of the knee. Find your breath and notice how you're turning your head and how your ears are facing that arm up that's coming right past it. One more full breath. All the way up. Stretch your palm toward the ceiling. Stretch. And then let's switch. Hand grabs wrist. Palm is up. Arm right past your ear. Side bend. Try to keep your pelvis from taking a swerve. You're going to try to keep your pelvis in its right alignment, like as if you were standing straight up. So the upper body is what's getting the bend, and your pelvis and your legs are just holding their own, staying in their stable position. Deepen the breath. Now, reach up. Palm is reaching up. Reach up the palm toward the ceiling. And when we come out of that, let's find the goddess. And we're going to open and close those arms. And drop your hands, elbows are up. Take a look from side to side. And let's release. Now, I'm real close to the chair on purpose. Know that this is what we're going to do next can be done in a seated position. So as we get going, you're thinking, not for me, not for me. You could sit right down and do it. So let's give it a try. And you're going to remember this, I'll bet you anything. Start with your hands on your head, shoulders, knees, and touch your toes. All the way up like a reverse swan dive. Head, shoulders, knees, I'm bending, toes, all the way up. Remember this one? Head, shoulders, knees, toes. Circle sweep your arms up. I'm speeding it up. Head, shoulders, knees, toes. Circle it up. This one's going to be a little bit different. Head, shoulders, knees, toes, and do it all the way up. Let's do it again. Head, shoulders, knees, toes, all the way up. Palms come together overhead. Exhale, heart. Inhale up. And exhale all the way around. And when you come all the way around, interlace your hands behind your back, pull those knuckles away from you, bend your knees quite a bit, get as much distance between your feet as you need to, so you can forward fold, look under the chair, keep your eyes open, and let your knuckles reach up toward the ceiling. Surrender. So we've created a shape that is just opening through the shoulders, releasing tension in the body, but we have to surrender to it. Resistance is going to just take all that joy right out of this. I want you to take one more deep breath. Release those interlaced hands so your arms are like rag dolls, just hanging down. Jump your hands to your shins. Come up halfway. Straighten your legs, straighten your arms. Tuck your chin in towards your throat. I've got space between my feet. If you want a greater challenge, bring your legs together. Right arm, or doesn't matter, one arm is going to reach past your ear. Let's add the other arm. Yes, bend your knees. Bring yourself up halfway. Palms are facing each other, bent knees, a squat. This is the chair posture, Uttanasana. Come all the way up to stand. Arms are up in the air. Catch up with your breath. Catch up with your breath. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Circle sweep those arms up. Touch your head, your shoulders, your bent knees, and your toes. Circle sweep your arms all the way up. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes. We're going to speed it up all the way. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Knees and toes. Circle sweep all the way up. Take your left hand, grab your right wrist, press your hand up. Stretch to the side. Keep your hips nice and steady. They're not taking a lean. They're going to stay right where they are. Upper body's doing the bending. Reach that palm up. Reach it up. We're going to switch hands. All the way across now, right past your ear. Imagine the block is between your legs. Now give that imaginary block. Let's engage those inner thigh muscles. Those are your adductor muscles. And you're going to feel that even in your perineum, which is awesome. It's awesome to be able to tone that right here now and use the strength of that. Let's come up and we're reaching that palm up. Stretch that side of your body and come all the way around, interlacing our hands behind our back, pulling those knuckles back and away. Bend the knees, get the distance between your feet you want. We're going to forward fold all the way down, knuckles reach up, surrender. Deepen that breath. Let your body give you the cues. Your Guru Dev, the teacher, is within. It is divine. It's within you. Let's release the hands and arms like ragdoll. Jump your hands to your shins, and we're straightening the arms and straightening the legs. Again, if you want more challenge, bring your legs together. That will give you more of a balance challenge. Catch up with your breath. Flat back. One arm extends past your ear. Then the other one does. Soften the knees a lot. Arms are right up now, right alongside your head, knees bent. Find your breath. Come all the way to standing. Palms come together overhead. Exhale, heart. Stay right here. Let your heart do your breathing for you. Maybe you're back in your chair. Maybe you decide, I'm going to sit down for this. It's all good. As you catch up with your breath, just subtly start to notice that you're surrendering to your heart. You're locating yourself there. The image is often given in much of the yoga literature. I'm going to just use that broad stroke of a way to refer to this, that we hold fear in one hand and love in the other. That's kind of the way we make our way through life. And day after day, we are asked to choose love, to choose love. And right now, when we bring ourselves into this heart awareness, we are giving ourselves that capacity. We are going to fire up our awareness of the heart so we can access love as our choice. Inhale up with me and exhale a big broad stroke all the way around. Let's open, close the hands, move around in your wrists. So we want to get some loving awareness into the joints of the hands and the wrists as well. And let's finish with our downward dog. So just turning toward the seat of your chair, hands are on that chair seat. Let's come away from that now. Arms glide right past the ears. The same distance that you see between your feet is what should be between your hands, vice versa. Match it up. Try to straighten your legs. Press more toward the toes. See if that doesn't help straighten the back of your knees a little bit. Now deepen the breath. Where could you relax? What part of you is kind of all tensed up that's not helping you? I'll bet you can identify that. Soften where you can. Now, get onto your finger pads. Lift your hands away from the chair so it's only your finger pads pressing into that chair. And you'll feel it into the armpit chest. You're strengthening your arms here. You're strengthening your wrists and your hands too. One more full breath. Start walking toward that chair, and we're going to soften the knees, round the back body, drop your chin to your chest. And when you release your hands from your chair, start moving your way up one vertebrae at a time. Keep your head low until you're finally all the way upright, all the way up. Inhale with me. Palms come together overhead. Exhale, bow to your heart. Hold that and breathe. Breathe from your heart. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om. Again, inhale, hands up. Exhale, a big wide sweeping action. Let's meet in our chair now. Come on back to the chair and sit down because it's time for Shavasana. And this is a very important part of our class, right? This is as important as anything we do. We finish with our meditation time. We finish with a softening of the body and the mind. And let the chair hold us entirely. So settle in, get the props you might need to make this a very comfortable way to be. You don't need me to lead you through your breath, but I'm just reminding you if that cleansing breath came up for you, go for it, of course. That's just natural conclusion here. And really allow yourself to use that backrest or use the surface beneath you if you've chosen to sit in a different chair or in a different place in your home. So you're making this transition now out of the active practice of yoga. And you're noticing the relaxing, the tending that you're offering to yourself. There's such a sweetness about it. Just tend yourself. Matter of fact, there's a practice called self-havening. I don't know how to define what havening means exactly. Maybe you know it. I've seen it done and I love it. And so I'm just going to offer it. It's nothing more than just you taking your hands and maybe just sweeping across your forehead from center to the temple. And then from temple down onto your cheeks, you just start sweeping away from your nose across your cheekbones to the temple. It's just this touch. Let's go to the forehead again. So just this rubbing from center to the temple. And then on the cheekbones, kind of starts at the nose, you're just bringing right back to the temple. And then the last part of this self-havening is your arms. You're just crossing and just going down the length of your upper arms, just from shoulder to elbow, like a smoothing out. That's it. And just again, relaxing into your quiet time. I'll remind you what we started with. Breathe in love. Breathe out fear. Again, breathe in love. Breathe out fear. Breathe in acceptance. Exhale and release judgment. Breathe in acceptance. Release judgment. Breathe in forgiveness. Breathe out and release resentment. Hold that forgiveness in your heart as you breathe in. And exhale and release the resentment. Breathe in joy. Put a smile on your face. And as you release this is lethargy. Breathe in joy and hold that. And exhale lethargy. Finally, we breathe in freedom. We release habit or expectation. Breathe in freedom. Exhale habit. Now just rest. Rest, dear one. Let's take a big breath in through the nose. Exhale it out of your mouth with a sigh. Ah. Do two more like that. Inhale. Exhale it out of your mouth and make some sound. That's important. Release. And one more. Let's open the eyes. Bring yourself forward on your chair so your feet are back to the floor and you're no longer relying on the backrest. We've brought our body back to right alignment in the spine. Let's close with our synced up breath. Inhale, palms together overhead. Exhale, bow to your heart. Inhale, back up. Exhale, we're going to share this beautiful, peaceful, loving energy and maybe the freedom that we've developed today, all the way through our communities. Palms come to the prayer position. We bow to ourselves. We bow to each other. Namaste, my friends. Thank you so much for joining me.